Finance Minister arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in a late-night dramatic operation. Senthil now sent to judicial custody till 28th of June. Stalin comes down heavily on centre post arrest, says people will teach BJP a lesson in 2024. BJP hits back at DMK, tweets video of Stalin attacking Senthil Balaji for alleged corruption. Tension continues to simmer in Uttarakhnd's Purola. Officials deny permission for the Mahapanchayat Section 144 imposed. Violence reignites in Manipur, 9 killed, 10 injured in a suspected attack by insurgents. From South 24 Parganas to Bankura, violence continues in poll-bound West Bengal. IMD warns of severe impact of cyclone on Thursday. NDRF on high alert. Hello and welcome. You're watching This Is Exclusive. Tonight we put our focus on two big stories. First, we start with the story coming in from Tamil Nadu. The massive face-off between the DMK as well as the AIA-DMK with the arrest of Minister Senthil Balaji. Tonight, we get you full details of the investigation that has been carried out so far. And why exactly is there a political face-off on this entire matter? We'll start with some breaking news now coming in on this entire issue. Senthil Balaji, who's now been admitted the hospital. Remember, his custody has been extended till about 28th of June. We'll start with some breaking news where we have gathered more details of the investigation that has been carried out by the Enforcement Directorate. Let's begin with that big breaking news now coming in of what the Enforcement Directorate has come across. Bank accounts of Senthil Balaji has been perused by the Enforcement Directorate. Cash deposit worth crores, not just into the account of Senthil Balaji, but also his wife is now under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate. Not just that, we're also given to understand that land parcel has also now come under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate. Before we get into more details with our reporters on the ground, we'll try and take you through some of the details that we have gathered so far. It was late last night when the arrest was made by the Enforcement Directorate. This after the instructions came in by the Supreme Court for further probe in this entire matter. This racket dates back to 2011 when Senthil Balaji was a minister in the AIA-DMK government. It was only later that he switched over to the DMK. So what exactly has the Enforcement Directorate found so far in the investigation that's carried out? Let's put out that breaking news. If we are ready with our breaking news, let's put that out. Details that we have gathered, 9 points that are coming in from the investigation that has been carried out so far by the Enforcement Directorate. Point number 1, the big detail that we're getting in right now with regards to the investigation that has been carried out is the fact that money laundering has now been linked to a land parcel, 3.75 acre worth 25 crore, bought for just about 10 lakh rupees. The first big breaking news, I'm not very sure if the breaking news is already put out. Let me see if we can put that out right now for our viewers to take a look at it, the details that we have got. Cash deposit of about 1.34 crore in V. Senthil Balaji's bank account. Cash deposit of about 29 lakh rupees in his wife's account. And all these cash deposits are incomes which are higher, or rather these cash deposits are higher than the income that has been disclosed in the ITR. Land that has been worth crore linked to Senthil's brother is under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate. job aspirants have basically revealed that money was given to the PA of Senthil Balaji either directly or through mediators. Now this job racket scam dates back to 2011. The time period is between 2011 and 2015. The land parcel that we are talking about is about 3.75 acre, worth about 25 crore rupees, but was sold off to a family member of Senthil Balaji for just about 10 lakh rupees. The enforcement directed suspects that herein lies the money laundering angle. That's one aspect that they are looking into. Multiple statements have been recorded under Section 50 of the PMLA Act. These are job aspirants who have basically revealed that they had actually given the money either directly or through intermediaries of Balaji Senthil. Let me just go across to my colleague Varshid, who's joining us from Chennai. We're given to understand that the enforcement directorate has already moved an application before the court for seeking custody of Senthil Balaji. Varshid, just if you could take us through some of the details that you're picking up from the court. As we understand, the enforcement directorate has already moved an application, and some details that we are picking up from the remand note that has been accessed by Republic TV. If you can just walk us through some of the details that you're getting.
Shravan, if you see the court in the Sessions Court, the Principal Sessions Court, where this particular argument, this hearing was happening regarding the bail petition as well as the remand petition that was going on and off, there we saw the advocate of the defence, the Minister Senthil Balaji, NR Ilango, as well as the Additional Solicitor General, who is also the prosecutor in this case, arguing to different lengths. So we saw initially the defence were asking for only three things. They were asking to quash this particular judicial remand that they've given. They've also asked for interim bail until a proper bail petition is being carried forward. And the third one is to shift from Omandurar Hospital to Kaveri Hospital, which is a private hospital. And this is when, interestingly, the Additional Solicitor General brought in the topic of how an independent team of doctors have to come to the hospital to review the health condition of Minister Senthil Balaji, because he said that the ED was not able to trust this particular analysis that the doctors at Omandurar have done, since there has been a lot of confusion from last night, because all of a sudden the ED has also spoken about how Minister Senthil Balaji fell all of a sudden sick at around 1:45 p.m. just after the ED told him that he was going to be arrested. Therefore, very interesting arguments from both the sides, and we saw how the NR Ilango, the defence, had kept on talking about how they wanted 41A, the judgment, a previous verdict, how they were showing it as a precedent and trying to make sure that this arrest will go null and void just because they do not follow proper protocol, and there has been precedences in the past where these kind of judgments have been given. So they wanted to push that forward so that they can make use of it in this case as well. But the Additional Solicitor General also had his own arguments in this, and finally the judgment was orders were reserved, and tomorrow is the D-Day, we could say, for Minister Senthil Balaji. Tomorrow we would know whether he would get his bail or not, or whether he's going to go into a 14-day judicial remand, and at the same time we will also know whether he's going to be treated in a court-mandated hospital or in the Omandurar government hospital or in the private hospital that the family and the legal team is seeking for. So tomorrow we'll get all answers for this, Shravan.
Right. Well, Varshini, we are also getting in some more breaking news with regards to the investigation that has been carried out by the Enforcement Directorate. Top sources now confirming to Republic TV that a land parcel is basically under the scanner. Why does that become so very important, or rather crucial at this juncture? That is essentially because, remember, what they are alleging is that Senthil Balaji essentially was receiving the money from the job aspirants through his personal assistant. So where was the money actually going? They suspect that a land parcel worth about 25 crore rupees was actually bought through one individual that is now under the scanner. We are not naming the individual who's actually sold that land parcel to Senthil's brother, family members rather, who finally gave the land parcel, is what we're being told at this point in time. But so far, the enforcement directorate says that the custodial interrogation of Senthil Balaji becomes extremely crucial simply because they feel that if he's not taken into custody, he's not been cooperating, number one. Number two, that there is a possibility, if granted bail, that he could actually influence the witnesses in this particular case, as he is a sitting member. In fact, in the remand note, the enforcement directorate also makes a note of the fact that when summons were essentially sent out to the minister, he actually yelled at the investigating officer and also refused to sign the summons that was sent out by the enforcement directorate. Take a look at this report, which takes you through some of the details of the investigation that has been carried out so far, and of course that late night arrest drama that unfolded in Chennai.
Tamil Nadu Minister and Stalin's close aide, Senthil Balaji, was arrested by Enforcement Directorate late night in job for cash scam. After 18 hours of raids in Chennai, the minister was arrested following a late night drama. The probe pertains to Balaji's alleged role in a job for cash scam. Scam allegedly took place in the state's transportation department between 2011 to 2015. While Balaji served as a transport minister in the Jayalalitha-led AIA-DMK government, the minister was also very closely associated with Jayalalitha. But today, the Stalin government called the arrest a witch hunt.
It's a very cowardly act, and he will come out clean, and our chief minister is also standing steadfastly with him. And you will see that in 24 people will teach the BJP a very good lesson on how they've been using the agencies in all the wrong ways. They have to start, people of India are already all looking at it, and the lesson will be taught in 24.
But the BJP is reminding Stalin of his hypocrisy.
ஆக இன்னைக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவர் மட்டும் இல்ல, ஒட்டுமொத்தமாக பாலாஜியினுடைய தம்பி இந்த கரூர் மாவட்டத்தை தன்னுடைய கட்டுப்பாட்டில் வச்சிருக்கிறாரு. கட்டுப்பாடுனா கொள்ளையடிக்கிறதுல, ஊழல் செய்யறதுல, லஞ்சம் வாங்குறதுல.
The whole cabinet is sitting inside the hospital trying to protect an accused. The reason I am saying this because it is the chief minister of Tamil Nadu now, Mr. M.K. Stalin, when he was the opposition leader. 18th April 2016, he went to Senthil Balaji's hometown, Pulithalai, 7 years back. In a public meeting, he accuses Senthil Balaji of very corrupt, the number one corrupt person in India. He says this same case, cash for job scam, he has done, and he should be punished.
Other opposition leaders have come out in support of the minister.
Excise minister को उन्होंने जो हरासमेंट करके रात में अरेस्ट कर लेके गए, वो कहीं भागने वाला नहीं था, उसको रातों रात पकड़ने की क्या आवश्यकता थी? और अगर कोई गलती किया है तो उसको आप सुबह आके इंक्वायरी कर सकते थे. मैं इसको कंडम करता हूँ.
The ED action has triggered a big political face-off. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Shifting focus now to a Republic investigation, a story that has now been brushed under the carpet by the national media. What's really happening in Uttarakhand district of Uttarakhand, where posters have basically emerged in Uttarakhand district allegedly forcing a community to exit from their own hometown. Now, the district administration says that members of one particular community have not been asked to leave. In fact, they are taking necessary action. It all comes at a time when there is a Hindu panchayat that is scheduled to take place in Uttarkashi. In fact, the Hindu organizations have called for a Hindu Mahapanchayat. The district administration has refused permission. But it turns out that the organizations have decided to go ahead with this panchayat. Will this essentially result in chaos and more tension? Because this dates back to what really happened on 26th of May when a minor girl was allegedly abducted by two men, and thereafter tensions between two communities started in Uttarkashi. Our reporter on the ground gets you a detailed report of what's really happening in Uttarkashi. On the one hand, the district administration says that no one has actually asked members of one particular community to leave their hometown, and they are certainly being protected. But members from the same very community say that they are worried, especially given the fact that posters have come up. In this particular report, you will get a sense of what's really happening on the ground, and our reporter speaks to members of all communities to get you a sense of what's really happening on the ground.
In the town of Purola in Uttarakhand's Uttarkashi district, security has been stepped up. The police and administration are on high alert following the call for Mahapanchayat by some groups following an incident of alleged abduction.
We are reporting from Purola market, and the security situation here has been heightened. Right next to me you can see that the police deployment in this market has been increased, and this has come in the aftermath of the love jihad case that cropped up, and after that a call for Hindu Mahapanchayat has been called, though the permission has still not been given. But looking at the sensitivity of the situation, you can see that how the police officials here are wrecking the main market of Purola.
Tensions were heightened in the small hill town after posters threatening a community were put up on shops. Another CCTV footage shows how the police removed the posters.
The similar kind of posters were put there as well. They have been removed by the local administration, but you can still see some shreds of those posters in the similar fashion like there were on the store of Mohammed Salim and Mohammed Rais.
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो जो ये कांड किया इन्हीं लोगों ने किया। इन लोगों द्वारा ये कांड हुआ। एक नाबालिग को ये भगा के ले जा रहे थे, वो पकड़े गए, ठीक है। उसके बाद पब्लिक ने इनको ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोला तुम भागो, ये अपनी स्वेच्छा से यहाँ से जा रहे हैं। और ये दबाव पब्लिक का दबाव तो पड़ता ही है कि जब तुम गलत काम करोगे तो पब्लिक का दबाव तो पड़ेगा ही। पब्लिक उनको दबाव दे रही है, भाई तुमने जब यहाँ रहना है तो ढंग से रहो।
कहाँ से आई है?
अब इस चीज़ के बारे में हमको तो नहीं, हम तो दुकानदार आदमी हैं। हम तो अपनी सुबह दुकान खोलते हैं, शाम को बंद करते हैं। पर हमको पता चला किसी ने पोस्ट लगाई है। अब इसके बारे में हमको कोई इसकी जानकारी नहीं है, ठीक है। दूसरी बात, किसी ने इनको मारा नहीं, किसी ने इनको पीटा नहीं, किसी ने इनकी दुकानों का नुकसान नहीं किया।
किस वजह से ये यहाँ से अपना काम छोड़ के, क्योंकि मैंने आगे देखा मोहम्मद सलीम, मोहम्मद रईस की भी एक दुकान थी, ऊपर नीचे दोनों भाई थे, घर पे ताला लगा हुआ है, क्या कारण है कि ये छोड़ के इस तरह भाग रहे हैं?
मैम, हमने इनको कोई फोर्स नहीं करा गया है कि आप यहाँ से जाइए वो करिए, बट ये है कि अगर ये गलत करेंगे तो गलत होगा इनके साथ, गलत करेंगे तो गलत होगा इनके साथ। और इनकी ये कोई गलत नहीं हुआ इनके साथ अभी आज तक ये अच्छे खुशी खुशी रह रहे थे यहाँ पे। जब ये गलत करेंगे तो हम लोग भी फिर चुप नहीं बैठेंगे और हम लोग भी इनका साथ नहीं देंगे।
Residents say that no threats or ultimatums were issued, but those who are allegedly on the receiving end have said that they were pressured.
शकील जी, हम यहाँ पुरोला में आए थे और हमने देखा कि आपकी दुकान बंद है। ये आप अपनी दुकान बंद करके क्यों गए हैं?
मेरे से खाली करवाई है जी दुकान, इसलिए बंद है वो।
किस लिए खाली करवाई है और किसने खाली कराई है?
दुकान मालिक ने कहा है कि भाई मेरे ऊपर बहुत दबाव आ रहा है कि आपको खाली करनी पड़ेगी।
अच्छा, तो ये दबाव क्यों आया है? ये 26 मई की वो जो केस आया था जहाँ लड़की किडनैप हुई है, उसके बाद आया है?
जी उसी चक्कर से आया।
अच्छा, तो मकान मालिक ने आपसे क्या कहा, आप अगर बता पाए तो?
मकान मालिक ने कहा कि दुकान खाली करनी पड़ेगी कि मेरे ऊपर दबाव है बहुत।
किसका दबाव है?
जो संगठन है वहाँ का।
अच्छा,
जो वहाँ पोस्टर चप्पा कर रहा है, उस संगठन का दबाव है मेरे ऊपर कि आपको दुकान खाली करनी पड़ेगी।
तो आप
मैंने कहा,
यहाँ
ठीक है साहब खाली कर दो।
आप कब से रह रहे थे यहाँ पर?
45 साल हो गई जी हम लोगों को वहाँ पर।
So what is the truth of what is happening in Purola? Is there something more than what meets the eye?
ये पुरोला तहसील या विकास खंड एक ऐसा है उत्तरकाशी, वैसे तो पूरा उत्तरकाशी हमारा, यहाँ से कोई पलायन नहीं हो रखा। यहाँ के सारे काश्तकार लोग अपने काम से मतलब रखते हैं, छोटे मोटे गरीब लोग हैं, छोटे मोटे अपने कारोबार करते हैं। लेकिन अगर अपने कारोबार के ऊपर भी अगर किसी की कोई दूसरी दृष्टि से कोई यहाँ पे आए, अब माना अभी बता रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे इस दुकान का किराया मुश्किल से 5,000 हो सकता है कि यहाँ के स्थानीय मार्केट के हिसाब से देखा जाए, क्योंकि यहाँ का गरीब आदमी इतना महंगा सामान नहीं ले सकता, लेकिन यहाँ 20-20 हज़ार रुपये किराया दे रहे हैं। यहाँ पे इन दुकानों के आड़ में कुछ दूसरे कारोबार भी हो रहे हैं नशीले पदार्थों का। मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कुछ सालों से यहाँ पुरोला में हमारे जो छोटे युवा बच्चे हैं उनको स्मैक के ओर धकेला जा रहा है। कौन कर रहा है इस कारोबार को? मैं प्रशासन से वही तो पूछ रहा हूँ। आज आप इतने लोग खड़े हैं यहाँ पे, हमारे को महापंचायत करने से रोक रहे हैं, हम अपने लोगों को जागरूक कर रहे हैं, हम आपका कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं। लेकिन इसमें जो बाहर से स्मैक आ रही है, बरेली से यहाँ स्मैक आ रही है, छोटे छोटे बच्चों को स्मैक खिलाकर इन्होंने बर्बाद कर रखा है।
Despite constant appeals to maintain law and order and no permission for the Mahapanchayat, the groups are adamant.
हम शांतिपूर्वक ढंग से महापंचायत का आह्वान कर रहे हैं। क्यों कर रहे हैं? इसके पीछे हमारा मंतव्य किसी समाज की भावनाओं को आहत करना नहीं है, बट ये है कि हिंदू समाज की बेटियों के साथ जो दुराचार विगत 2-3-4-5 घटनाएं हुई है यहाँ, तो ये बहुत ही निंदनीय है और हिंदू समाज इसको कतई बर्दाश्त नहीं करेगा।
The situation continues to remain polarized in Uttarkashi ahead of the Mahapanchayat. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
So who's exactly responsible for the current situation in the hill town of Purola? What is it that the district administration is really doing to douse the fire? The reality is that some members of the community have essentially left from their homes, and they say that there is a lot of pressure that is being put on them. The district administration, when confronted by a reporter on the ground, say that those who have vacated their own house, they've done so out of their own volition, and those who had put out those posters threatening members of one particular community will actually face action. Listen in to what the district administration had to tell our reporter Madhurima Mishra, who's on the ground.
देखिए मैडम, हमने यहाँ की परिस्थिति को देखते हुए कि कानून व्यवस्था बिगड़ सकती है, यहाँ धारा 144 लागू कर दी आज से, जो 18 तारीख तक रहेगी।
तो सर, अगर हम बात करें कि जिस तरीके के न्यूज़ सामने आई कि पोस्टर्स लगाए गए, मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी पे एक दबाव डाला गया, कितनी सच्चाई है कि उन पर दबाव डाला गया यहाँ से जाने के लिए, इस बात में?
नहीं, मुझे यहाँ के जो सीओज थे उन्होंने बताया गया था कुछ पोस्टर लगे थे, लेकिन उनके द्वारा जिसने भी लगाया उस पर कार्रवाई करी है पुलिस ने।
तो ये जो दबाव वाली बात है, क्या इसमें कोई सत्य है, कोई फैक्ट है?
नहीं, दबाव की तो बात है, हमारे पास तो ऐसी कोई कंप्लेन नहीं आई जी लिखित में कि हमारे ऊपर कोई दबाव बनाया जा रहा है। प्रशासन के पास ऐसा कुछ नहीं है,
ऐसा कोई खबर नहीं आई है आपके पास है? तो सर, मैं आपसे बस ये आखिरी सवाल पूछूंगी कि हम लोग कई लोगों से बात की तो वो तो दबाव की बात कर ही रहे हैं, बाकी कह रहे हैं कि जो गए हैं अपनी मर्जी से गए हैं। तो ये जो माहौल बना है और जो ये लव जिहाद के केसेस आए हैं, लोग कह रहे हैं यहाँ लोकल्स की उस पर एक बढ़ोतरी हुई थी, तो क्या उस पर कुछ नियंत्रण लगाने का या उनकी सच्चाई ढूंढने का कोई प्रयास किया गया?
नहीं मैडम, इस पर मैं कोई कमेंट नहीं करूँगा।
Well, that's a Republic investigation coming in from Uttarkashi. On the other side, after this short break, we get you that report from the Northeast. Northeast soon to get a new airline. We'll get you all the details.
Republic #1 on TV, now soon on digital this July.
Republic has been #1 for the past 6 years. We've broken the biggest stories and reported from where it mattered most. We've disrupted the broadcast news media from India. And now we are coming to digital. Republic on digital this July. Republic #1 on TV, now coming to digital. Republic on digital this July. Republic TV #1 on television, now soon on digital this July.
Republic #1 on TV, now soon on digital this July.
Republic has been #1 for the last 6 years, and in these 6 years you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us, and we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda, and now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you don't miss a moment of what's going on in the country and around the world. Republic on digital this July. Republic is #1 on television, now soon on digital this July.
Republic TV has been #1 on television for the past 6 years. We broke the biggest stories and reported from where it mattered. We disrupted broadcast news television in India, and now we are all set to go digital. Republic on digital this July.
For the last 6 years, Republic TV has been the #1 channel on TV. On television, day after day, night after night, you, the viewer, have been coming back to us for our investigative reports, our reportage from different parts of the country and the world, our opinions on TV that make us #1. And through our struggles and through everything that we've done to be the #1 channel on TV, it's now time for digital. Republic on digital this July.
Republic has been #1 on TV for the last 6 years. In these 6 years, you've given us all your love that has only propelled us to grow more. We've reported in the most challenging circumstances from the most remote locations. And now it's time for digital. Republic on digital this July.
#1 on TV, now soon on digital. Republic on digital this July.
Ever since we launched in 2017, we've been India's #1 news channel, and then we became India's #1 news network. Today we operate the #1 channels in English, in Hindi and in Bangla, and we're going to expand across India and hopefully very soon to the entire world. Now this journey cannot be complete without us entering the digital news medium in a stronger, effective and well-planned way. And I'm delighted to share with you, with all of you, our support base, our viewers, our followers and people who are really part of Republic, that yes, Republic, India's #1 on television, is now coming on digital. This July, Republic will be on digital.
Republic TV has been #1 for the last 6 years. We've reported some of the biggest stories, stories that matter. We have changed the face of Indian television journalism, and now we are about to do the same on digital. Republic on digital this July.
The Amity BBA has been ranked India's #1 BBA in the Times of India B School 2022 rankings. To apply, visit amity.edu.
2017 के बाद रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क जो भी चैनल लेकर आया जिस भाषा में, वो बना #1, इंग्लिश, हिंदी, बांग्ला। इस जुलाई रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क लेकर आ रहा है एक नया तूफान, रिपब्लिक डिजिटल। दोस्तों, अब खेला हो गया।
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
A very good evening. You're watching Republic and I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. Let's get kick-started this edition of the news with our headlines at this hour. After the dramatic late-night arrest, Senthil Balaji, who remembers a sitting minister in the cabinet of M.K. Stalin, has been sent to 14 days of judicial remand. The order on his bail plea for the moment has been reserved.
The DMK claims political vendetta, and we aren't surprised. They call Senthil Balaji's arrest an intimidation tactic by the centre, and Stalin says, wait for 2024, the BJP will be wiped out. The BJP instead is reminding Stalin of the time when he himself spoke against Senthil Balaji, calling him corrupt, and they say, how have things changed? There is no end to political violence in the state of West Bengal. The BJP approaches the State Election Commission against the pre-poll violence. Do remember, the state right now is building up to the big panchayat polls. Also, cyclone Biparjoy to make its landfall tomorrow between 4 to 5 p.m. Multiple agencies are on the ground. Evacuations are in full swing, and we here will get you more ground reportage in just a moment. And let's get kick-started with that top headline that we just discussed about. This is about the cyclone Biparjoy. Now, churning the Arabian Sea, the cyclone on Wednesday was set to recurve towards Gujarat's Kutch area. Also, the adjoining South Pakistan area that is slightly weakening in the process, but the IMD says the threat is still there. It is threatening to swarm the region with storm surges, with strong winds and heavy rains. Now, this possibly will mean that a lot more needs to be done considering the relief and the rescue operation. Do remember, over the last many days, a lot of people have already been removed from the low-lying areas. And since its formation on June the 6th in the Southeast Arabian Sea, the cyclone had maintained a northward track, gathering strength, also becoming an extremely severe cyclonic storm on June the 11th, and the IMD said it could be packing